Hello, welcome to another album review. Today we'll be going over Borknagar's Winter's Thrice. Winter's Thrice is one of those albums, might be disparaging to quite a few fans. The production value was quite amazing on this. It's really one of those albums that needed to be done for them, I think, personally. They've always kind of been categorized as this progressive folk metal outfit. But on this album, I really think that they took the extra step to go a little more symphonic. And not in a way where, the keyboards sound really symphonic, or, they went with this cheesy kind of sound where there's a bunch of just singing banshees in the background for no reason. I think really as a band, it sounds a lot more symphonic. The guitar parts kind of weave and intertwine, kind of like these epic violin parts that really shouldn't be played on a guitar but are, and for an amazing value. I mean, Borknagar really stepped up their writing game as well on this album. And the first couple of albums were really heavily black metal influenced, but I think the singer really took his time to sing a lot more cleanly than on previous records, and it really shines through on his voice. His voice is very epic sounding and very natural, and it definitely kind of adds, a more powerful presence to the overall lyrics, I think. I mean, it's great when he goes more into his screams and everything, but everything is set in a nice tone. And as always, I think, too, the drummer really shines through on almost every Borknagar release. But on this one, he really, instead of, blast beating all over the place, it definitely sounds like a progressive album where every part, is definitely there, and you could tell he's just going crazy on his drum kit. I mean, the fact of the matter is that the complexity of his drumming and how fast he is and how many, I mean, the man must have to run marathon before he gets on that drum kit, which definitely lays the groundwork for the rest of the album and the rest of the songwriting. It's such powerful and driving and complex in itself. And I also like that they kind of left out a lot of the slower, folkier elements. I think that it was going to be dumbing down the rest of this record as it stands right now. I mean, for instance, the first song, they could have went with stereotypical folk metal intros and all that sort of stuff, but they hit it hard right out the gates, and it doesn't seem like it stops for most of the album. Parts it does, but they definitely made this album more epic and more fluent and a lot faster and heavier than on previous releases, which really works for them well. I'm excited to hear more in this style of Borknagar, and I would hope that they get a little more progressive with their music with this current kind of sound, and I'm really happy that they chose to go with a more modern production value, because it really brings out the timbre, not only in the singer's voice, but in the overall band. I mean, the guitar playing is very clear and crisp and precise. And that's, as I said earlier, it really brings out the more symphonic elements of the band. Orchestral parts written on keyboard and keyboard parts in general are also very, very well and complexly written and ingenious. The keyboard player exactly knows when to stop, which is very rare in metal these days. But to get even closer and deeper into the fact how great Borknagar has come along, I mean, their first three albums, great. They seem to have this really great evolutionary flow, which a lot of bands don't. They stay muddled and mired down in the dirt with every other band. But Borknagar, with every release, has single-handedly shown us that they are a monster at writing music and giving us a solid platter of something totally different and ingenious. So I totally hope that anyone would go out and pick up this album and try something totally new from Borknagar. and totally give them props for doing so. I mean, if this album doesn't get nominated for at least something this year, I'm going to be slightly mad because it's their time to shine, and they've totally pulled it off with this record. So, if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment box below. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our page, and we thank you so much for watching our videos, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Bye.